Hi, my name is Bokang Phelane, and this is my masterclass on becoming a leading actor, brought to you by Showmax and Actor Spaces. I grew up in Maseru, Lesotho, until I had to do my varsity education, then I moved to Joburg around about that time. I've always actually wanted to become an actress. Like some of my earliest little fantasies, you know, when you're just like daydreaming. For me, that was always my daydreams. It was always either me performing something on stage, just singing or dancing. So it's really something that's always been in my heart. It's just that, you know, the background that I came from did not necessarily perceive the art as the safest space for one to establish a career. Every actor wants to be a leading actor. And I think that there are 3 fundamental things to being a leading actress or an actor. The first one is, as a leading actor, it is your responsibility to completely immerse yourself in your story world. Now, this is not the same as immersing yourself in your character work, which we'll get into a bit later. But this is about you as a lead having the full scope and arc of what's happening in your world entirely. What's happening on a political scale in your world, and also what's happening with other characters, how other characters perceive you, how you perceive other characters. So, for example, in Bloodsums, I play Princess Zazie, who is a princess of the Akachi Kingdom, which is the arcing, most powerful tribe of the existing kingdoms in Bloodsums. So, as a princess of a tribe that's the victorious tribe, I felt like, you know, the actor needed to know every possible thing about all the other tribes. Not just the Agachi tribes, but also the Gua tribes and all the other tribes, to just also understand the diplomacy of existing in all those other worlds, because that's exactly what the princess would do or would be expected to do or grow up into. And also, it helps in the process of just understanding, in terms of placing yourself all the time, what exactly your character is doing, where they are. Because also remember, as a lead, we are entering the world through you, through your perspective, through your experience. So know the entire world. And then the second thing about being a leading actor is understanding that you are sort of like a diplomatic and energetic conduit between different departments. So your energy really dictates a lot of how people are going to relate. So for example, if you come in the morning and then you go to makeup and then you're kind of like in a not great energy, you're kind of like in an upset energy, in a somewhat mood, that energy is easily transferable to other creatives who, by the way, we're all working from an energetic space of harmony. Thank you very much. So that bad energy, you're gonna leave it in the makeup room. That bad energy is gonna be taken onto set. It's gonna affect even how everybody works on the set. So it's important as a leading actor to also think about, like, when you step forward on the set, what kind of energy are you stepping forward? Are you stepping forward with the energy that allows everybody to work conducively and bring out their best self? Or are you letting other energies, maybe energies that affect your personal preparation, are you letting them affect the set? For example, if you're playing a very jaded character, a character that's sort of like in a dark place all of the time, part of your preparation might be you inhabiting this place of darkness all of the time. And as much as that's your process, and the rest of your team can respect that, it's also important that you respect their process. And their process might not even involve the amount of darkness that your process needs. So be very careful also in your preparation. With Bloodsums, I became a part of the production a long time ago. I'm very lucky in the sense that, like, Yellowbone is pro-involving actors from the very beginning. So I was involved in the pre-production stages, in the stages of story development, in the stages of choreography, stunt choreography, and all of that stuff. So by the time I got to interact with the rest of the cast, by the time we were at a relaxed stage enough so that we could talk about the production, talk about our happinesses or our grievances about the production, I had felt like I had traveled such a journey with the story, with the production, that I felt like I could confidently, as part of the cast, be able to sort of like address, not overtaking or overstepping my place, but if my fellow cast has a concern, I would be able to sort of like advise or address, given the advantage that I had, that I have been part of the production process and the story development process from such an early stage. So that is mainly what you will do. You will mainly be using your own energy and your own orientation to sort of let that lead, which is essentially your department. Your department is the other actors. You use your energy, you will use your understanding, you use your connectivity to sort of always try to set a positive precedence or lead for your department. The third part of being a leading actor is the mental, physical, and emotional preparation. Why this is exciting for me is because this is actually the work that happens before you're cast as a lead. When it comes to the mental work, for me personally, and a few other actors which have advised me in my career, for me personally, I played a lot of supporting roles before I got to the stage of playing a lead. And for me to get to a place where I was finally playing a lead, I felt like it took Bokang to have a conversation with Bokang, the artist, and say, we are ready to take on a leading role. So what does a lead do? A lead is always ready to go whenever it's time to go. So mentally preparing myself for the fact that I'm no longer a support, I'm a lead. And what does a lead do? A lead is ready to go. A lead knows everything. A lead understands the politics that are once you're on set. You're an artist, but you're also a consummate professional. And you're also a human who's empathetic and feels. So watch your energy. But it begins first with telling yourself that I am now ready to transition into being a lead, and not waiting for the cast, but already acting and being that, so that you can attract what you are. Because we don't attract what we desire necessarily, but we attract what we are. We get more of what we are. But the emotional preparation part is remembering that an actor is an emotional athlete. I believe that an actor is an emotional athlete. You have to be as agile with the emotions as a soccer player is with their body and a ball. You have to be ready to go into emotional spaces. The character needs you to go without having to fight with the artist because they are not ready to inhabit certain emotional places. You cannot have places where you yourself as the artist cannot go because you won't be able to meet the character in the emotional place where they have to go. So your job is to sacrifice yourself and train yourself to go into emotional vulnerability places for the sake of the character, but still staying safe within the safety of the vulnerability that a performer needs. On a physical level, this excites me because we're also moving in a place as the South African film industry where we're moving from a lot of drama into more action-based stuff. So as an actor, your job is to physically meet the demands of the character. So if the character is an action fighting character, say like Charlize Theron in Atomic Blonde, you need to be physically ready to convince people that to be believable in your physical form. You need to be ready in terms of being ready to take the choreography. You need to be mentally and physically prepared for that. You need to understand that being an actor is really a shape-shifting profession. And so you need to be in a place with your physiology where you are at a neutral point where you can go either ways. If you need to be bigger for the character, be at a place where it's easy for you to go big. If you need to be leaner and more muscular for the character, be consistently in your life where it's not going to take you 3-4 months to get to that place. Be at a place where you can easily just swivel back and forth into physical states that the character needs, because that is your job. And then also thinking about bringing that into the audition space, because I think that often the mistake that actors do is think that, like, you know, all they have to do is get past the audition phase, and then after that there will be this ample time for preparation. But the truth of the matter is, opportunity goes to those who are most ready in the moment at the time. So think about also when you're in this place where you haven't really identified anything that you're going to get, you want to be in a place where anything goes. Like, if I'm going to get cast to be a cop right now who's very strong, I'm ready to look like that. If I'm going to look like a nurse who does not necessarily have time to go to the gym 3-4 times a week and works 14 hours around the clock, I'm also ready to look like that. And then another thing is, as an actor, I think that it is so important to have skills in different types of dialect and accent. I think that's very important to always have ready, especially because here in South Africa, we play a host of either local or like international characters. So just be ready all of the time so that when the moment arrives, you're not still busy trying to figure out your preparation. But, you know, as the old saying goes, an actor prepares. So be an actor who's always in a state of preparation. The relationship between the lead actor and the director is very important. I think even from the basics of how the director likes to communicate versus how the actor likes to communicate, I think it should always be clear in terms of like the director's vision and the actor's vision. There must always be a marrying ground there, because it's as much as the director has their complete vision, the actor also has their offer. So there needs to be an artistic, clear communication such that the director's vision and the actor's offer can actually amalgamate into something neither of them thought was possible when they get on the set. And then I think that one thing that I want to stress on is the trust relationship between the actor and the director. Because sometimes you get a contract and it says this is what you're going to do on set, A, B, C, D. And then as we know, the script is what it is, but once you get on set, it changes to accommodate whatever else is happening. So there needs to be that trusting rapport between the director and the actor, because you will be asked to do things that sometimes you didn't anticipate that you're going to have to do. You will be put in situations where sometimes you didn't anticipate, but as long as there's that clear, trusting understanding between the actor and director, then both practitioners of the art can feel safe going into spaces that they didn't anticipate when they reached the set that day. I think that the final thing that I want to say about just being a lead actor in general, it's so important to understand that you begin first by leading your own sort of like mission and ambition regarding what you want to see in your career as an actor. So therefore, it's important to always create a safe space mentally for yourself to accommodate for the large dreams that you have and accommodate for the smaller steps that it's going to take you to get to those places, and also be mentally mature enough to understand that it's going to be a gradual progress, and in each and every step of that process, you are learning something and building something onto yourself, which one day you will look back and not even believe that you've built this sort of like professional who has this many sort of like different skills, whether it's in martial arts or it's in a particular sport because you were playing a tennis role, or it's your agility with and skill with weapons because you're playing a soldier. Just leave yourself space mentally to understand that an actor is a continuously learning and morphing practitioner of art, and there are ups and ebbs and flows to that. Be kind to yourself, give yourself time to learn, and enjoy this journey of pursuing your dream and becoming a leading actor. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.